Boom. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy, where we don't stand out, we stand up. I am your host, the brother from another mother, Mr. A.D. Walker, the pusher to grow, the motivator. And I appreciate you guys rocking with us, hanging with us, and being around us. Because you could have been anywhere, but you are in the building. Um, So today we are talking about how do we tell our families the truth about themselves, continuing on the line of school and going back and speaking truth to our families, to our kids. Um, how do we tell the truth? And I know this is going to spill over to other stuff, but how do we deal with that? Telling them the truth. It is imperative that we are motivated to be honest with our family, because if we truly believe in legacy, if we truly believe that what we have now is built for later, then we have to be honest with our current generation. We have to be honest with them. We have to be honest about who they are, what they have, and what they're contributing. Um, so today we're going to dig into that and many other things related. But that is what we're talking about today. And I appreciate you guys for being here. As always, my podcast people, thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this conversation. Definitely come check out the brothersoflegacy.com, connect with us live and be able to see us live and be in the conversation and not just outside in the stands, because that's basically what the podcast and the replays are. And if you're watching this on replay, put replay, hashtag replay, so you do not miss, so that we know that you watch this on replay. And I appreciate it. It just helps understanding who is connecting with us, who is watching us, because I know people are seeing, some are on the outside, some are there, but they never really say much. Blessings, Lisa. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for always being a part. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about speaking the truth. And it's going to really dig into a lot of our families, being honest with them about who they are, being honest about, the skills they possess when they are excited about doing things, being able to navigate when what they want to accomplish, when their habits don't line up with what they want to accomplish, being honest about it and speaking the truth in love. The Bible says speak the truth in love, giving them proper direction in order to achieve it. Because when someone says, hey, I want to do this particular thing, a lot of times we know that the level of habits that you have to have to achieve, or at least be successful in that space. So you speak the truth in love and say, listen, let's develop the foundation in order for you to be able to compete in this area. It's not just sports. Certain occupations, certain things are definitely needed in order to become successful in certain areas. And if we don't speak the truth to our families, who else will? Who are we leaving that job to speak the truth to our families? And I know a lot of times receiving that truth, hearing that truth, can become very, very difficult because it's our families. some of the toughest things to hear sometimes from are the very people that we love, because we have this culture now that anything, if you don't agree with me, if you don't push me or motivate me in that space, then you're nothing but a hater. Everybody's not a hater. I'm not hating on what you're doing. I'm just trying to encourage you in a manner that will push you to your next level. And but you need the real. You have to hear the truth. Nothing worse than letting me get excited about something that I thought I was good at, and I'm not really that good at least not yet. Um, you know, that goes from talents to cooking. Like, it's funny, judging certain things, and speaking the truth about it, speaking the truth in love, but honestly, honest opinions. This is what I think. You ask me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And we have to begin to do that. We have to begin to speak honestly, like real talk. Like this thing don't really be a little longer than just. We got to speak the truth, man. We got to stop allowing things to happen in front of us, especially with those we love, and just let it happen because we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. For me, I need you to just speak the truth. I need you to tell me the truth. And that's real. Like, this is how I operate. The only way that I will grow is if you speak the truth. That's the only way I'll grow. So we're going to dig into that today. Make sure you share. All my people on Facebook and YouTube. And what's up? Someone in Twitch land is growing slowly. And we have to learn to speak the truth, though. It is imperative. It is imperative. All right. So we're going to dig into it. And let's see. Spliggity splow, spliggity splow. We'll be right back after this. I didn't want to catch that. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everybody? This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly/now build credit. bit.ly/now build credit. All right, we are back. Give me one moment. I was just sharing. I usually try to share once we go live. No one wants to see a sitting page while they wait for something to start. Everybody likes to jump in the party when it's already going. Isn't that what we do sometimes? We used to do back in the day. You don't show up on time to the party. You make an entrance. Being late was the thing. So yeah, I like to wait a minute once we can start getting going. And then I like to start sharing. Sharing is caring. And if you didn't know where you're at, you're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We come on every single morning, Monday through Friday. I know I say every single morning. That means every day. Okay, that's not totally true. We come on Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, I may not be rocking alone, but just hanging out. Appreciate you, Smash, coming through. So we are, hey, good morning, Cheryl. Good morning. Good morning. We are discussing how do we tell our families the truth about themselves. Still in the vein, I know it's kind of like a little off the path a little bit. Still in the vein of school, speaking truth to our kids, being honest about who they are, the talents they possess, and the things that they can offer in life. And, when I want to do this, or I feel like I can do that. I'll be great at this, or I'll be great at that. Being able to speak the truth in love. And I know that in love makes it seem like it'd still be an easier pill to swallow. But I guess as opposed to speaking the truth in maliciousness, something hurtful, something that can be damaging to someone's life. We have to learn to be able to speak that truth, because sometimes, in speaking truth and in speaking our opinion, we have to be careful for the words, the words we use that can be hurtful, that can be a hindrance. Sometimes you don't want to discourage, because some things can be corrected, some things can be fixed, some things can be improved on, improved on. But we don't want to get caught up in in being malicious, but honest. Listen, if I started singing right now and I'm like, what do I need to correct? You may be like, there's not enough in your life to up your skill. Love hurts when it's not the response you wanted. Mike, I won't call you Mike because you may not be like, no, I don't like Mike. So Michael, man, that is the truth, sir. That is the truth. That is the truth. Yeah, it is. It always hurts because I don't know, either you don't want to hear it, or, you're not ready for, or you didn't, or like the person that is always rah, rah, I got your back, now they're serving up the truth and you're just a hater. He said nonverbal communication is important when delivering a tough truth. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And how you deliver it. And then sometimes, watching how you deliver, because if you've been on the same path and you've been hurt on that path, speaking that truth and not sharing your pain of why you're not doing it is the key as well. Because some people just share their pain. It's like, my path is not the same as yours. So just share some of the things you learned, but in a manner that can encourage or help me if that's where we're going. And we have to be careful with that as well. But speaking the truth, right, to our families, to our kids, if our children want to do something, like I spoke about in the beginning, having those foundational habits. And you can see, like, say your child wants to be an athlete, or, hey, I want to do such and such. All right, so we have to get into the habit of the workout. We have to get into the habit of knowing, what to do, like not even learning the game yet, but a habit of getting up, being able to push, because if you ever done any level of weight training, done anything athletic, pushing past when it hurts, when you get tired, when you don't want to do it is some of the keys, and I've never been the athletic type, but I've had going through the gym process of trying to build and get stronger and things of that nature, and getting past the point of, man, I am ready to quit. Like, I don't want to do another rep. I don't want to lift another thing, and learning to just find your way past that. Like I said, building those foundational habits when it comes to certain things is key as well. But, telling your family or telling your child, like, listen, you have to get into a habit of pushing past, the tide mark, or pushing past certain things, because it's going to get hard. Like I think that's the foundation that we always try to teach our children. I'm sure I'm not alone. I got my pastor in the wing, just looking and make sure he's ready. Look for the thumbs up. And okay, I think he's there. Let's see. All right, let's get him. It's cool. But yeah, I think the one thing we always try to teach our children, and good morning, Pastor.
Morning.
We try to teach our children to push when it gets hard. You never want your children to just quit because it's hard. Sometimes it's like, yeah, this thing is failing. It's time to pull out. But if it's just the hard part, it's like you just gotta kind of persevere. We at the perseverance point. This is just, you got to get through it. I know it's rough. I know it's tough. I know you're a little worn out, but you can make it. You just gotta have the fortitude to just keep pushing. I think, like I talk about my kids, my daughter's intelligent. She figures stuff out. And I think she had gotten to a place where when things come easy, she can just do it when it got hard. And she feels like, it's not what I need to be doing because it's not easy like the other stuff. We've had this battle with math and she just like, it's hard. I'm like, I know, because it's not coming easy like the other stuff. When it comes to reading, the comprehension, she's just on it. She can read, give you characters verbatim, plots, and break down a whole whole book report. But like when it comes to math, it's like, it takes that other side of the brain that just that you're not used to things just flowing. It's a challenge, and overcoming those challenges. But like we talked about in the beginning of the week, if it fails, it fails. But is it because you're just giving up, or this thing just not really working? So it's like, and teaching those decision-making moments, like, I'm giving up because this is not being productive. This is not helping. You're not going in the right direction. Not that just because it's hard. Because if we all gave up when it got hard, then I don't know where we would be. Everything gets hard. Relationships get hard. Just like, if that was it, we wouldn't. Neither one of us probably be married. It's like, I'm done. I'm done. It's hard. It's hard. It's the hard part. I'm not doing this. But just how do we? Hey, like Mama Corey. Let's see. Michael said, explain to my child, if you want to play football, you have to get up all night for practice, even when your friends are on. He's 8. That right there, not even the football part or getting into practice, but being able to do what everybody else is not doing. Being able to do what everybody else is not doing, like trying to cram that in, like that's where success is. Because, everybody else is doing this. You realize there's not a lot of millionaires because they're doing something different. Look into the history of what a lot of millionaires have done when they were younger, especially those that become millionaires by 30, they were working on something else while their friends were doing other things. And they may have brought them in like, hey, I'm working on this thing, but they had to start this thing by themselves. They had to be in the house working or practicing or out practicing, learning something that nobody else is really into. It's crazy. I learned about Mark Zuckerberg. He got his computer training on coding from one of the folks that used to work for Nintendo. So he already got some great foundational stuff before he got to Facebook. And then there was stuff he did that he failed at before Facebook. We always just know about, Mark, Harvard, Facebook. So we don't know the path that he was on. He actually had, from what I understand, hopefully I don't get it wrong, he was the one that created like the randomizing of music to fit genre, that now Apple Music uses it in a lot of these music. He created like the coding for that. I don't think he got credit for it. I think somebody either sold it, something happened, but he didn't get credit for that, and so Facebook is what everybody knows him for, but there was a long path before Facebook. So it's learning those things and letting your kids know, there's a path. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not just going to get it. It's going to happen. And we have to be vigilant and teaching our children to be vigilant. And like I said, not giving up. So Pastor, in your family, and like I spoke about in the beginning, I know this is going to go a lot of places, speaking truth about themselves and everything. Right now, we're going to keep it in the vein with the kids, and I'm sure by the end of the show, we'll be somewhere else. But
so we're talking about children.
We could talk. That's what I'm trying to say. At least starting off, but it's fine because I already know when it comes to speaking the truth about family and those around because I'm expanding on our questions. But have you the moments where your children want to do something or feel they're great at something? How do you speak truth? And I know we speak truth and love, but how do you do
you mean when they're not really great at it?
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Keita.
it's interesting because to me, um, how do you tell a child that they're not great at something when they're still a child?
Right.
I
Right.
I struggle with telling a child, you know, they're not great. I mean, in those terms,
Right.
I
Right.
think that
Right. Right.
children have to, work harder. I think somebody told Queen Latifah she couldn't sing.
Mm. Right. 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 That you can't. Right. That you
Right?
can't. That you can't do.
You can rap,
Right.
but singing is really not. But she's been on Broadway
Right.
singing,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So it's challenging to say that to a child who's not fully developed yet,
Right. Right.
right? So I think we have to be wise in how we interact with our children
Right.
in pursuit of dreams and goals.
Right.
You know, um, I have a younger brother in Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
been there 30 years, uh, who always wanted to be an actor,
Mm-hmm.
making crazy money. Uh, but his comparing him to other actors in the field,
Right.
and even as a young person, you didn't see him in Hollywood making
Right.
it,
Right. Right. Right.
but he's there
Right.
doing
Right.
it and doing it big, you know.
Right.
And what you learn is you don't have to be Denzel to be great,
Right. That's it
right?
right there. That's
So
it.
you have
Yeah.
to be careful about telling your children what they're not,
Right.
as
Yes.
opposed to encouraging them to be the best that they can be,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Uh, so if I'm going to be honest with my child, I'm gonna be honest about their work ethic.
Right. The foundations.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
uh, and balance and all
Yeah.
of those things. I think that's what's real.
Right.
That's the best thing I believe you can do with young people, because you have no idea how they're going to end up, because you have no idea how much they want it.
Right. Oof.
Uh, you know,
Oof. Right.
um, but there are telltale signs. You can show me how much you want it
Right.
versus not being
No.
consistent.
Right.
You know,
True.
you'll never make it if you never work at it.
Right.
You can. I used to tell my youngest daughter. Well, I used to tell the last two, Brienne and Rachel, because they were in gymnastics. They wanted
Right.
to be in gymnastics.
Right.
They wanted to be in dance.
Right.
And Brienne wanted to do back handsprings. She wanted to tumble,
Right.
but she was always afraid. She didn't want to practice.
Right.
Rachel was trying to flip on everything, right?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so when
That's
it
so
came
funny.
to kind of working out, hey, Daddy, can you help me with this? Rachel, I'm like, Rachel was doing it all the time, so it was a
Right.
lot easier to work with
Okay.
her.
Okay. Right.
Brienne
Right.
had more fears. She didn't want to hit her head.
Right.
Rachel wasn't afraid to hit her head. And I would
Right.
tell Brienne, you won't get there if you don't work at it. You're
Right.
not going to get there. I'm like, look at
Right.
your sister, and you're the older one, but your younger sister's like, she's out there just doing it.
Doing it. Like I
Yeah.
don't care. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And was
Wow.
getting really good at it,
Right.
and
Okay.
so you can't say I want to be great and not work at it.
Right. Right.
Like you have
Yeah.
to be truthful with young people in that regard.
Right.
So
Yes.
that, I think that's a lot of it. Let's not tell them what they're unable to do. Let's not tell them what we don't feel they're good at. Let's
Right.
encourage them to be the best version of themselves.
Right. I think that's where you start off with the foundations, to have the habits, like that, the work habit. Like if you're gonna do this, you gotta work at it. You gotta at least get the habit of practicing. Every bit of practice makes you better. Even just a notch, even just a bit.
Yeah.
And you're right about the comparison. There's so many times, especially, growing up, something that you want to do, but you as an adult, sometimes you don't see the big financial part of it. you're like in your mind, like, I've never seen anybody make a wealth of money doing this thing, but it's in their heart to do. like I'm really good at this. Like I'm really nice at this, Dad. Like I don't know where it can go, but I'm really good at this. Like
Who told their child video games will never get you paid?
Right. I was going there. I was right. You can't make $1 million with it. Like I'm really coordinated. Like I can figure this out. Like I beat all these games. I'm trying, like you can't make money with video games. Right. Exactly. And it's crazy. Like it should be like now, especially for our generation, as much as we've seen stuff that the back end was making money, but the play on things wasn't there yet. To see it now, like, there's competition, there's big $1 million teams with sponsorships and all, it's such a conglomerate of this stuff. Like for us, at least our generation, we should be like, you want to do what? I can't see it, but we're gonna see what we can do with it. Like I can't imagine any parent saying no. I just like, I can't see it, but we're gonna work on it. We're gonna see what avenue you could at least get into to turn this into an income. What can you do right now as you develop it? Because we have seen like little things and just things that were leisure turn into professions, and it amazes me. And it's funny, I was talking to someone yesterday about YouTube and how, well, not even just YouTube, but how people like my kids, and I don't know if your grands do it, but they watch people play video games, and not as a strategic thing. Because that's what I thought. I was like, oh, well, they're just watching to learn how to play. No, they're just watching it as entertainment. Like my son watches this thing, FGTV, and it's big. They got toys and a whole line of stuff. And it's what I've seen is a father, 2 sons, and a wife. She's on sometimes. And it's just a family playing video games. And he's just animated, like he fall, it's just, and my son could watch it all day. And I'm just like, and I was telling somebody, I was like, man, I don't even know what the future of TV is going to look like. If this thing grows, what TV is going to look like. So, and who would think, yeah, I'm gonna get in front and play video games and show it, and they're gonna just watch me play video games. Like, what? It's what I'm doing, Dad. What? So it's crazy, like where it's going. What's up, Richard? Good morning.
Morning, Richard.
It just, so it's like the limits of what's possible, is crazy, how you never know where it's going to go. We know all things through crisis, but
I tell one of my daughters used to watch this family on YouTube, and she was always watching them, and I'm like,
what is it?
Yeah, and one truth is, you'll never make it just watching somebody else.
Right.
I'm going to do that when I grow up. Well, You're not going to do it if you just keep watching them.
Right.
You've got to do something that makes other people want to watch you.
Right.
Because you're not going to get paid watching somebody else.
Right.
And that's a truth. How productive are you going to be watching?
Right. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
You watch long enough to learn, but you have to put work in. So there's some truth, because I had to deliver her from that. Living life vicariously through a video.
Right. And it's crazy. Like, even if you just watching them and have somebody watching them, and putting together a video of you watching them. And listen, that's another one.
That's called insanity. But I do believe that we, obviously we have to be honest with our children. We have to let them know, what they're up against. I feel like you can't, as a parent, you cannot communicate with the child and make the mountain bigger than the desire.
Mm. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You spend too much time telling them how hard it's going to be.
Right.
You know, spend too much time telling them how much they're going to have to fight through. You tell them that they're going to have to fight.
Right.
You know, but you never make their opposition bigger than their drive.
Right.
It's like the children of Israel when they sent out the 12 spies.
Right.
You know, 10 came back with the fact that everybody over there in that land was giants.
Right.
2 came back and said, "Did you see the grapes?" Right.
That's so funny. Like, I seen giants, but did you see those grapes? Like,
yeah.
I had one. Delicious. Yeah. It's our land, you know.
Right. So I recognize that there's some pretty big people over there.
Right. Right.
But I really want to get some of that fruit. You know.
Right. That fruit was delicious.
Especially when you like, and that's why, you know, again, that's why you have to know who you are. You have to be comfortable. I mean, even as adults, when we're raising children, you know, you're supposed to exude something that you want to pull out of your children.
Right.
You know, and if you don't exude confidence, you know, it's going to be a struggle for your children to exude confidence, you know. And so as parents, we have to know who we are. Our children, there is a higher risk of your children being lost if you have no real identity for yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah,
that's real.
Absolutely.
That's real. Is it okay to mention, to talk about your struggle, and even like your struggle to become like if you're telling your like, I'm just really coming to understand what I'm supposed to be doing, or I'm just coming and I'm trying to help you get there quicker. You know, like I'm trying to give you the tools to help shape you quicker than I did, so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor earlier than I did.
You know, I've had my children have had some revelation about my life.
Okay.
I thought they understood some of my struggle early on. They understood a piece of it, but not to the extent that I thought they really understood it. Right. And we just had that, like within the last week, we had an open-hearted discussion about that. Me and a couple of my children, about some things. They were like, "Oh, well, I didn't realize it was like that, Dad." Right. I'm like, "What?" I thought she was like, "No, I didn't understand it like that." I'm like, "Oh, wow." Well, I felt horrible. You know, like, yeah, it can really get that bad. You know.
Right.
And they were like, and like they went away and talked to each other. You know, like, did you?
Right.
Like,
right. Because in your mind,
we know.
In your mind, you was there. Like, you didn't see it. Like, I thought you see
it. Yeah. Well, what I realized in my truth to them was over their heads.
Right. Okay.
You understand? They didn't have a real understanding.
Right.
Which made it sugar coated.
Right. Like, all right, Dad. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they had to deal with the rawness of it.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
And then we had to talk, and I felt horrible because I'm like, oh my God, you know, have I lost time and relationship? Because if they had known it was this deep 5 years ago, would it have changed the course of our conversations? You understand?
Right.
But I didn't know. I just didn't know
that
they didn't really understand it to the extent that I wanted them to understand it. And, you know, I'm not putting my business out there. Y'all. I'm just telling you that this stuff can happen. And what I mean by that is, you know, our children are exposed to reality, or a perceived reality.
Right.
In this world, reality TV. They think that stuff that they see on TV and on the videos, they call it reality TV. So to them, it's real.
Right.
But then they see the grown-ups in their villages being phony. Right.
Okay.
And so when do we give them the real?
Right.
You know, that children have to understand your vulnerabilities. They have to understand, you know, they don't have to know all your business, but they need to recognize that you've made mistakes, and they're going to make mistakes. And my goal is that you don't make the same mistakes I made.
Right.
Or at least we work to mitigate.
Right. You
know, that
like mine was like this, you could be like this.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not stuck. Let's not get you stuck.
Right. Because there's healing in that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, you know, there's a pain and you don't even know it's there until you've been healed.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to do is make sure that, you know, when I release all my, like, I'm a father of 5. My son, God rest his soul, he's gone on to glory. But my desire has always been that when they're released, they're released with a level of liberation that's greater than mine was when I was released.
Right.
You know, and that they live their truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like I think that right there, though, just to continue to live your truth, just because, you know, kids are raw from the beginning. You know, they're just who they are. They'll speak their mind unfiltered, you know, until they're taught filtering.
Life takes their truth away, takes their rawness away.
Yeah. Like, but holding on to who you are and just be honest about who you are, you know, like this is who you are. This is, I guess this is who you are. These are the things you need to work on. you know, like, I know you're angry and I know that's who you are, but that's not healthy. You need to work on that.
Yeah.
But being able to be honest, though, being able to be transparent and have, and I think that helps in your relationships as well, because you're honest about who you are. Like, you can be forthright, like in the beginning, and be able to show, like, this is who I am. You know, this is if we're to marry, this is who you're marrying. You know, and I think in being most honest, it helps. Oh man, let's see. So knowing it's okay to be who you are. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a tough lesson, though.
Right.
That's hard to learn.
Right.
When you grow up with everybody telling you what you can and can't do.
Right.
Because some of who you are falls into the category of something that you can't do. Right. And what I mean by that is, you know, this may be who you are, but you're not in a space or at an age, at a level of maturity where you can do this today.
Right. Right.
And as parents, we have to make sure that we circumvent, we have to maneuver through all of that stuff, right? So as not to put restrictions on our children, because the no has to be explained as not now, not where you are.
Right. Right.
You understand? And we don't spend enough time trying to help them understand, you know, all that's well and good, but not for where you are.
Right. Yeah.
Right. When I was a child, I spake as a child. You know, when I became a man, I put away childish things, those types of things. And I think we don't take the time to explain those things because, number one, we're time strapped because we're working. We got other stuff to do. We don't have time to sit down and explain it. Number two, we never really figured it out ourselves.
Right.
Right. That's just the truth. And that's what I've learned about myself. There's things that I love you. You look like your name. Can I go with you? Oh, Lord, I forgot I was on the microphone. Okay.
Bring it back.
Yeah. So, you know, I think one of the greatest challenges of my own experience is being more than what you are.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Because we always feel like we have something to prove.
Right.
I don't need your help. Right. I think yeah, because listen, one of the worst phrases, there's so much truth to it, but one of the worst phrases that someone could ever quote is, I can do bad all by myself.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Because what that means is I don't need your help. And the original statement was, don't add to my problems.
Right.
You understand?
That is different. Yeah,
that's different. That was the true meaning. I don't need you to bring drama to me.
Right.
I got enough without you adding to it.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
But that mantra has been taken down a different path.
Right.
To just, I don't need you.
Right.
And I'm saying that can be very destructive. You know, I got it. I can do it. I can do it. I know you can.
And
but right now, I'm learning that I still need help. Yeah, absolutely, Sister Keita. But I think but you're not by yourself. And see, a lot of times, you know, we get lost because we're watching somebody else hold it together.
Yes.
And what you see is the makeup.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just like our young people. They see the makeup. Yeah. I've never seen so many young people under the age of 16 wear so much makeup, so many girls. With beautiful skin, even my own children. Like, why are you putting another coating on your face when you don't have any blemishes on your face?
Right. Naturally.
Makeup is to hide blemishes. It's, you know, enhanced blemishes.
Right.
You know, and your face is beautiful.
Right. Naturally.
With no, you don't have any blemishes. Right. Your eyebrows are already up. You know, you don't need to wake your eyes up. You know, your cheeks already are blush. You don't need to add it. There's color there already. You know, and what I'm saying is, we've been taught to cover it.
Yes.
You understand? Mm-hmm. We've been taught to cover it. And so what I'm saying is, let's try and get away from that. Let's get away from that concept of always having to. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs somebody. I don't care what cloth. And I'm gonna go back to what I was saying earlier, trying to be more than what I was.
Right.
I believe that children should be taught that. I think Samantha said it. You're okay just the way you are.
Right.
As long as your goal is to continue to be a better version of yourself. Without comparison to others. Then you're gonna be fine.
Right.
You know that, because I went down a whole.
Be good. Oh, Peter said the last couple of weeks have shown me that I truly need my village still in this day and time. Yeah, you always listen. The thing is, and I've had to realize this too, because you know, other than Sam, you know, I've kind of I was on an island. You know, like you just felt like. It's just us. We're gonna do it ourselves. Everything is about doing it ourselves. And you realize, you know, connection and a village and being connected to the right people are needed. And not to be afraid to connect, not to be afraid to get around other like-minded people. And sometimes, you know, and like we always talk about relationships and levels and where they stand. Are they close? Are they far? Are they just for the mission? Are they not? You know, what place they stand. We have to be willing to just take the risk of connection. And, you know, you never know who you might connect to. Like you might be 3 people away from someone that becomes a confidant, you know, but you never know. Like, you know, if Pastor was, you know, further away, you know, like I connect with this person, that person, then, hey, you ever talk to Pastor McCory about such and such, just about something simple, and we have a connection, and now it may be lifetime. You know, you never know who you may connect to, and stepping out of that. And that's off topic, but because I just had to share that. Well, honestly, you know, speaking truth to your children and the people they're around as well, you know, who are their friends, you know, because we see things from a distance. Like, you know, you can tell your kids like, yeah, you know, if there's something happen, they break up like as friends, like I'm not talking to them anymore, you know, but you've seen them interact. You're like, I get it. You know, like they told me something that was true. Like, baby, they were right. Like, yeah, you know, and I'm going to tell you something. That's a friend. Like you need to make up because you just discovered your first friend, you know, because they were honest with you. You know, they told you the truth, unfiltered, you know, and that's a friend. And it's like what such and such. It was like, yeah, those aren't friends. They're just trying to prop you up and they're not telling you the truth. Like they can probably hang around you, but the person that just told you the truth, they're a real friend, you know? So it's those revelations so that, you know, like you keep teaching kids to make good judgment, in the things that they do. But yeah, just to be honest with who they're around. Like, you tell them like, hey, you ever realize this person only comes around when you have, or when you're doing, or when you're giving. Like, you realize that? Like, just like little tidbits, being honest about their relationships. Like, you realize they only mess with you. They only call on payday. They only call, when it's time that you're going to drive and we're going to hang out and you're treating, it's just those little things, teaching, being honest about their relationships, being honest about like, their schools or who they're connecting to, who's helping them. This person helps. I know they can be a little annoying, but they come over when you need assistance. Like, you ever realize whenever you put out the call that you need help, they're the first ones here, So
I think that one that gets on your last nerves is always the one that wants to come and help.
Right. I'm like, I know they're annoying. They're annoying, because if they annoy you, they're annoying us. But they're here trying to help, So, and maybe you can have a conversation like, hey, I love that you help. I feel like you're a friend. But you're just sometimes a little pesty. Like, just have an honest conversation. And that's a friend, because you're helping them to continue to help and that part of friendship, and then shape their character where they're not so annoying. So guess what? You help them, they help you, and that's a friendship. Oh, hey, good morning, Deborah. Let's see. Yes, I'm learning.
Yes, I was going to say, okay. It is okay to be vulnerable, because without exposing your vulnerabilities,
yes,
no one else will be comfortable sharing theirs.
Right.
Which makes you as important, makes you as critical to your village as your village is to you.
Right.
Because someone is always watching.
Right.
They're going to evaluate how they deal with something based on what they see others doing.
Yes, indeed.
And sometimes, it's funny. You remember you came to me about a week or two ago and you said, hey, Pastor, did you see that post?
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I'm just checking in on you. Like, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Welcome to my world. Like, I had drama too.
Right.
And that's what I mean about, being true to yourself, being true to who you are, and not trying to be something that you're not. One of the things that I get in trouble with all the time is because I have conversations that, according to people, I'm not supposed to have as a pastor.
Right.
That's not, you're not supposed to say that. You're not that ain't how pastors talk.
Right.
How do pastors talk? I'm trying to figure out, is it more important how they talk, or is it more important how they live?
Right.
And so, you there's a life that has to be lived.
Mm-hmm.
I study my word. I study my word probably more than a lot of people I know.
Right.
Probably more than a lot of pastors y'all know. Probably more than a lot of bishops y'all know. You understand?
Right.
But my primary language isn't thus this thou and telleth.
Right.
I'm saying that I want to live a life that shows the difference between my title and my towel.
Right. Nice.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can put this title on me and never see me serve. Right. And so I want to make sure that people understand that I know the difference between my title and my towel.
Right.
I know what I'm supposed to be walking in. Right. And so that means I'm gonna talk to you like we brothers.
Right.
If you have a question about the word, you have a question about a decision in life and all of that, I'm going to tell you based on my experience, based on what the word says, and based on what I've learned. The Bible says we overcome him, the enemy, the devil, by the blood of the Lamb. That's the word of God. And the words of our testimony. Right. And so it's I can't tell you how to do it if I've never done it. I can tell you what the word says about it. right? That's what I can give you. But I want to live a life that shows that not only am I the president of the Hair Club for Men, that I'm also a member. And yes, that's what I want my children. I don't want my children growing up trying to pretend to be something that they're not. You don't have to fake the funk.
Right.
You know, that's not necessary in this life because nobody has a heaven or hell to put you in. So I want to deal with the truth of life. Right. And as people, as believers, as families, as parents, as mentors, as counselors, as guides, we're supposed to tell the truth.
Right.
That doesn't mean tell you all my business.
Right.
That means when I'm talking to you, I should speak truth.
Yes.
That's what it means. If I don't tell you everything about me, that just means I'm careful with how much information I share about my life. That doesn't mean I'm degrading you or I don't respect you.
Right.
I have respect for myself. So what I'm saying is, let's be true to who we are. Let's be honest with our young people. Let's tell them, and please understand this. You have to apply wisdom as you're sharing truth to your children, to the next generation, because the raw truth may be too heavy for certain people to carry. One of the things I learned, I realized that I should have spoke with more clarity with my children. I found out they didn't understand the depth of what I was talking about, some issues that I had earlier in life. Right. Well, with that, I didn't realize it was to that extent. I know you said this, but I didn't know it was to that extent. Okay, well, now you know. And
full picture.
How does that make you feel?
Right.
Now that you understand this truth, I want you to deal with how that makes you feel. And, maybe we can talk about what could have been done differently.
Right. Definitely.
Right. But the great part is you now understand they felt good knowing that they got that from me.
Yeah.
And it was a revelation for them. But now the next thing is, what could have been done better and how does it make you feel today? Does it change anything? Your perspective about things, that kind of stuff. And I'm putting this out here because, we got parents out here, living something in front of our children. And trust me, your children can see you.
Yeah, definitely.
They may not understand, but they can see the disconnect.
Right.
And if you don't take the time to make the connection, that's confusion that you have set into your children that they're going to have to go out and figure out on their own if you don't deal with those things. And I'm saying, and we have to be comfortable enough within ourselves to do. And I'm not, maybe that's just me. It could just be me. I don't know.
No,
I don't know if all y'all out there, maybe y'all don't have the issues that I've had in my life. But I'm just saying that. As leaders, as parents, as adults, we have to be very careful that they have a good understanding of the lessons. And they have a good understanding of, I'm not just telling you this because I'm telling you. How can I best put this? The best message that I can send to my children is, I've made these mistakes. I don't want you to make the same mistakes I've made.
Right.
As opposed to saying, don't do that. It'll get you in trouble.
Right.
We want to tell our children, don't do that. It'll get you in trouble. But we won't go to the extent of saying, because it got me in trouble.
Right. Wow. That right there though. That right there to give clarity of why. Yeah. Why should you not do this? What are some of the ramifications or consequences to doing this? Of course, the giving examples of others, but also speaking into your life. Like, we wouldn't either be here had I made this decision. This is a way to avoid 5 years of worry or loss, or just being able to share and give clarity. Because you're right, when you just give an overview sometimes, or not enough depth or clarity, then it's like, okay, I hear
some of y'all out here acting like you never had a problem wiping your behind. Some of y'all out here acting like you never had stains in your drawers.
Right.
That's raw. Right. You walking around here like you got it all together. Like maybe you don't have it all together, but you've come through more than what you allude to.
Right.
And that's just the truth.
Right. Yeah.
And so you carry yourself in such a way.
Yeah.
You carry yourself in such a way that you feel superior. You feel like you're the authority to tell somebody something. I apologize, Sam. I apologize. There I go again, saying stuff that pastors aren't supposed to say.
Oh man, yes, dude.
But this is what I found out. And I'll tell you something. Do you know that you ever heard that old adage? There's nothing worse than an ex-smoker.
Right. Yes.
Ex-smokers can't stand cigarette smoke.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because you're looking at the mirror. You're looking in the mirror.
Right.
When you see other people smoking and you've gotten over it, you telling me, hey, that's smoking, that's horrible, that's bad. Right. But you won't tell them I spent 15 years smoking. Right. You'll just talk about how much you can't stand cigarette smoke.
Yep.
And the truth is you fiending. You miss that smoke.
Right.
You criticizing people for you criticizing people for smoking weed, and the truth is you always wanted to know what it was like. You did it and nobody knows. All the people that you did it with are gone. Then no one can call your truth out. Right. So you sit there on top of the hill and point your finger down at other people because in your circle, people don't know your dirt. Right. People will pack up and move to another country.
Yeah.
To be something that they couldn't be at home because they couldn't get over the shame. And I'm saying you might be the news of the week, but next week it'll be somebody else. So why are you so concerned with what people think about you?
Yeah.
Right.
True.
That's just the truth. And I'm saying if people are going to talk about you no matter what.
Right.
Yep. So just live your truth. Live your truth, because there's always going to be someone to love you for who you are. There's a village, there's a group out there that's going to love you and appreciate you for who you are. As long as you continue to work to get better, that's what life is all about. And I'm saying, let's stop this nonsense about, I'm so great, but I've never had this issue. It's just wrong. And what happens is people who really know you can see that. And you wonder why your circle gets smaller and smaller. No, it's not because you've gotten so great and people are just hating on you. People just can't deal with your phony. They don't want to deal with that. Nobody want to deal with that. And in the church, we get it all the time. It runs rampant in the church. Right. It runs rampant in the church. Your heart looks nothing like your suit on Sunday.
Right.
Your heart looks nothing like your regalia.
Right.
Your Sunday best. Your heart is far from the exterior of your Sunday best.
Right.
And people who know you, who are inside the circle, they see you. Yes. And they don't have the courage to tell you anything because they know you can't handle your own truth.
Oof.
Okay.
All right. Let that marinate. So thank God for the STC family for accepting me. Me for me. I love you all to the moon and back. Yes, we do.
Love you too,
Peter. But yeah, so it's walking out your truth, and being honest about who you are, right? And yeah, it's not hiding, not hiding, and not, you don't have to tell all your business, no, but to act like you've never done, you never have, you've never been exposed to, but at the same time, not disregarding someone else living out their truth. I'm a work in progress. I'm working to get better. This is where I'm at, and understanding and not being judgmental as I become better. And then not.
Please stay right there. Not becoming judgmental.
Wait, we gotta go though. Okay, I'm gonna give you a minute.
You can't say that and leave it right there. Seriously.
All right.
Why? Why? Think about this.
Yeah.
What was Jesus really saying to Peter when he said, "When thou art converted"? And we just talked about this. Right. He wasn't judgmental against Peter. Mm-hmm. Jesus was standing right there in front of the one who was going to deny him 3 times.
Right.
He didn't say, "Man, you're gonna lie on me. You're gonna lie." They come in and you're gonna lie. Right. I'm saying he was basically saying, you're not there yet. Mm-hmm. You're going to mess up. Right. But it gets better. Right. And when it does get better, help somebody else. Right. Your judgment can cut off a future blessing from somebody else getting delivered, because you passing judgment on an individual in your face right now can kill their desire to deal with their truth and help somebody else coming behind them.
That's true.
That's real talk. That's why we have to create an environment that is conducive to truth.
Right.
Make it okay for people to want to tell you the truth.
Right.
Don't go tweet it. Right. Don't go inbox somebody. Ooh, girl, bruh, guess what don't do that.
Right.
Create a healthy environment for people to speak their truth without judgment.
Right.
And get the help they need to get to their next level. And that's what your young people need. But truth be told, that's what a lot of us grown folks need. A lot of us.
Right.
A lot of us. Sitting on this platform right now. There are people on this platform right now getting some truth and won't even type nothing because they don't know who else is watching and who else is listening.
Right.
That's okay. I'm encouraging you. Find you somebody that you can talk to.
Yes. It's all about connecting, accountability. We want to get better. And my better didn't happen until I was held accountable for my better. Until I started speaking and, getting told, stop being a knucklehead, stop playing around, stop messing around, do what you need to do, take care of business.
Your children are going to remember things later on that they cannot talk about now. They're going to remember things later on. They cannot verbalize it today, but there's going to come a day where they'll be able to verbalize it.
I seen you, Dad. I seen you, Mom. I seen when this happened.
Yeah.
It may and then it's gonna be like it makes more sense now that I'm an adult, but I seen it happen. I didn't understand it then, but now I do. All right, guys. We're gonna get out of here. Tomorrow's Freestyle Friday. I have a topic.
Some folks said it's better than today.
Right?
Get off this topic.
Right. I mean, listen. Oh, what I heard a pastor say said, if you can't say amen, say ouch. So sometimes, listen, and there are them times like, oh man, I don't need to hear this today. I don't want to hear this today. But
I thought I was gonna have me laughing this morning.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, we're not the Steve Harvey Morning Show, so yeah, you're not about to get your laugh on too much.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, right. A little bit. Yeah. We're gonna continue in this vein of clarity and authenticity, and how we can get better at it, and be honest with our family. All right, so stay tuned. Freestyle Friday. We're going to talk about that, pushing forward and not giving up on our kids, even when we want to. But we got to understand that our legacy is in them. All right, so keep that in mind. Stay connected to us. Join our community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Share this. We having real talk here. I know there's people, I hear a message like, oh, I wish such and such was here. Oh, I wish such and such would have heard this today. So
if you believe it's constructive.
Yes, that too.
Y'all won't even tell us if y'all don't like something. Y'all need to tell us the truth. Tell us the truth. If we sound silly, if I sound like I don't have a clue, you need to say something.
Say something. Let's have a conversation. Listen, bring folks in that don't agree with us. I love those guys. Let's have a conversation. This is how we get better. We honestly need to get into a space where we can agree to disagree, or even have conversation that will shift our perspective. Because sometimes the way we grow up, the way we see things, each one of us can only see but so far. But if you give a perspective that me and Pastor were like, I didn't think about that. I didn't see it that way. I never thought about that from that perspective. I only seen this, because even, I had to understand, even with the cop situation, right? If cops are doing a certain thing and it's policy, then it's not really the cops, it's the system. Like we hopping on the cop, but the cop's like, I'm just doing what I've been trained to do, so we got to get that perspective. All right.
Listen, I saw a video the other day. I saw a video the other day of a sergeant, a black man, a police officer. He looked like he had to be 6'3". right? 260, big guy. And there was a woman handcuffed on her stomach on the ground.
Right, I seen that.
There was a female cop standing next to him.
Right.
And he kicked her in the head.
I seen that.
You see that?
I seen that one. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what?
Right.
What are you doing? You understand?
Right.
What I didn't see is that before he kicked her in the head, she had lifted her head up and she spit at it. She spit at him. Right. All you see is her holding her head up and him, and I don't mean like stomping her, but he kicked her. He kicked her head. Like I'm like,
he kicked her hard.
You need to be in cuffs.
Yeah.
You understand?
He kicked her hard.
And all I'm saying is, it was not a good look for law enforcement.
Right.
It was not a good look for a black police officer, knowing the struggle that we're in right now. You're gonna lift your foot up, and the person is handcuffed on the floor on the ground.
Right.
Really, you gonna do that? And you a sergeant?
Yeah, that's an example.
I mean, everything about that was wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the video, she spit, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, man. Listen, I had to be honest with myself, right? I'm like, he was wrong. You're a law enforcement officer. You can wash your uniform.
Right.
But I'm like, man, you don't spit on me.
Right. I mean, I know that's like almost
even handcuffed. Don't spit on me.
Right. I mean, it's still horrible, but it's like a respect thing. It's like you're not about to like that. And I'm the sergeant.
It is the worst possible thing you can do to a person. Bad. It's the most degrading thing you could ever do to a person is to spit on them. Right?
I mean, he could have found another way, but yeah. But all right, we're gonna get out of here.
I'm not telling you right or wrong. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Yeah. All right, guys. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, same channel. Join our community. Text LW into 84576. See you in the AM. Know that we love you, but God loves you more. Peace out, guys. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another. Good morning.